In this video, I want to walk you through one of our favorite power sequencing solutions for churches. This is a power sequencing system by Lowell, and we have a great setup here at this church, which let me go back to front of house and I'll show you what the end result of this is. So come back here to front of house. So back here behind our mixing console, we have this little rocker button right here. And the system's on, so the light is green. And then if I hit the little rocker switch, it's gonna start blinking red. And as it's blinking red, every 8 seconds, it is going to power off different categories of gear. So first we're starting with the amplifiers, and then now you can see the mixing console is off, and then eventually our video infrastructure is off as well. So that's what I mean by power sequencing. If you're new to the concept, it makes sure you turn everything on and off in the right order, and you can do it with one convenient press of a button. So now that the entire sequence is done, the light is solid red here, so I know my system is off. And then if I want to turn it back on, I'm going to toggle the switch, and now it's blinking green. The first thing that's going to come up is our video system. So this will probably pop up here in our multi-view in a second. There we go. So our ATEM video switcher is on. And then next it's going to fire on our mixing console and our stage boxes and our microphones. So you just saw that happen right here. And then finally it's going to turn on our amplifiers for our PA system. So that's the right order, like video infrastructure, audio, mixing, input devices, and then you have your amps turn on. And you want to have some time in between those steps because you don't want your amps to turn on first, and when you turn on a mixing console, it might cause like a pop or something like that on your PA system. And then it's the reverse order when you shut it off. So let's dive into the details of how this all works. First, we're gonna go up to the equipment rack where the main sequencer is. So we're at our equipment rack here that has our video, computer, lighting, infrastructure, and you see the sequencer right here. This is the SCQR-P4. So this is our favorite model of power sequencing. It's got 4 steps to it. So right now, everything is on. If I were to go ahead and toggle it, you see the same type of light pattern here. It's going off, and then we're gonna turn off our amps first is number 4. Then 3 is going to be our mixing console. 2 I actually have blank right now, nothing's on that. And then 1 was this whole rack right here. Except for some things we have always on. We recommend keeping your network switch always on. You can see that's on, as well as your computers. It allows us to remote in and service client systems. Even if the main system's off, we can at least get into the computers and help them out. So then what we're going to do is I'm going to toggle the switch back on, and then what's going to happen is this light will come on with the video infrastructure here, and then we have the mixing console, then the amps again. So that's the sequence. This is the brain that is making everything happen. So the sequencer, come on back here. So here's the back of the sequencer. You have your output signals and you have an input. So this input is from our momentary remote switch. This is at front of house. So this cable goes all the way to front of house, plugged into that little switch on the wall. This is what triggers this on and off. It's the same thing as pressing the button on the front of this rack unit here. This over here are the outputs. So you have 2 different output paths. They do the same thing, and one of them makes a straight run back to the audio equipment rack for our 20 amp RPC unit for our amplifiers, and there's also a 15 amp RPC for our stage box and some audio gear. And then here's another cable that goes actually to an RPC in this rack if you want to come down here. So RPC, that's what this is. This is this little 2-gang unit. You can't really see the outlet. Maybe Luke can get around the back, but you can see that you got your 2 outlets right here, right? Just a normal outlet. And the RPC is what we plug into our circuit on the wall to get power. And this guy always has power, but then it will toggle on the outlets here. So you've got your cables that go in and out of the RPC, and then you've got the little dip switches on them too, which they're labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can select what step of the sequence you want them to be on. And these pass-through RPCs in the system is so powerful because you can install an RPC, and then you can just determine what step you want it to be on. And also these RPCs can daisy chain with those pass-through connectors. So, maybe for some reason you need to change the step of some of your devices on when they're supposed to power on and off. Well, these pass-through devices make it super convenient to do that. I really prefer the locking connectors of the RJ45 on these pass-through RPCs and the sequencer. We just know it's going to be pretty solid. There are some other great sequencers out there, like the ones that use the simple 2-wire connections, but you don't have that flexibility to switch what step things are on without like having to actually like change the wiring on those more traditional sequencing systems. So these are the types of sequencers that we're installing in churches right now, and we're a huge fan of them. I know sequencers are so exciting, but as we were researching sequencers, we just didn't really find a lot of great content online, and these are great products. So if you would like to learn more about AVL solutions for your church, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe to Churchfront. Reach out to us if you'd like us to install a system like this at your church. We'd love to chat with you. Go to churchfront.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.